guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, it is the final installment of my 3-part Europe series, I guess. My Europe mini series, if you can say. I'm just going to be talking about my shopping experience in Paris and how the VAT refund worked for me. So if you guys are curious on how the shopping experience was in Paris, then just keep watching. For those of you that don't know, I actually took a European cruise. It was a transatlantic cruise. So I didn't fly directly to Europe, which is why when I went to Paris, I only had not even 4 hours. I only had 3.5 hours to spend in Paris and do everything that I needed to do. So because from where the port is, it's about a 2.5 to 3 hour drive from the port to Paris. So when we finally got to Paris, it was about maybe 12:30, almost 1 o'clock, and we had to be back at the bus by 4:30. Because I've done research on this before, I've checked all the stores that I want to go to. I literally opened up my Google Maps, and then they even gave us like a physical paper map copy, and I dotted the boutiques that I wanted to go to and to see the distance, because obviously we would have to walk everywhere. You could take a taxi, but who wants to spend the money, you know? And we're in Paris. I don't want to be in a car in Paris. I want to walk around. So where we were dropped off was kind of in the middle. If I'm able to find the location, I'm going to put it right over here. And it was a 15-minute walk, like a 15-minute fast walk to the Rue Cambon location. So because Chanel was just something that I've always wanted to go to, I didn't plan on buying anything from Chanel. My aunt wanted to buy a crossbody bag from Chanel, and I just wanted to go to the boutique because I just need to do that. So the moment that the bus dropped us off, I just started fast walking to the Rue Cambon location. Luckily, I had internet, so I was able to use my Google Maps on it to like show me where to go. So if you didn't know, in Paris there's so many different boutiques. For example, there's probably what, like maybe 4 Louis Vuitton stores, 3 or 4 Chanel and Dior stores, because for some reason in Paris they like to split it up. So if you're new and you just put Chanel boutique on your Google Maps without actually looking to see what it says, some Chanel boutiques only have like beauty, perfume, or ready to wear. Only certain boutiques do have bags. Same thing with Dior. I believe for Dior they kind of split it up too, because there could be a Dior men's store and then a Dior women, so just take that into account. So a lot of people get dropped off or just know about Champs-Elysees. Champs-Elysees has the 4-story Louis Vuitton store, and I actually wanted to go to that one because that's the flagship location in Paris. However, that was so far from the Rue Cambon store, easily maybe like a 25-30 minute walk from the Rue Cambon location. My recommendation is, if you're short on time and you only have to go to one shopping central, Champs-Elysees sounds nice because it's the signature like Champs-Elysees, but I definitely recommend going around the Rue Cambon store. Literally, Celine is right before the Rue Cambon store. You pass Dior, there's Burberry, there's even Delvaux, I think is how you pronounce it. So we first went to the Rue Cambon store. There was no line outside, because when I used to look at reviews, everyone says there's like a 30-45 minute line outside the Chanel boutique. So what they do at Rue Cambon, which is so amazing, is at the moment you walk in, there's a lady that greets you and she asks if you have an appointment. Me and my family did not have an appointment, which I was so terrified. I thought they would be like, oh, I'm so sorry, you can't shop with us, da 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 da. So because I told her that we didn't have an appointment, she said it would be about 45 minutes to an hour wait, and we could give her a phone number and then she'll text us when it's ready. So I even asked her, I was like, do I have to stay in the store, or can I go to other boutiques? And she was like, oh no, that's the purpose of it, is that you can go like kill time somewhere else, which is beautiful, because I dreaded having to just stand in line and waste time when we only had 3.5 hours. So we put our name down at the Chanel store, and then we beelined to the closest Louis Vuitton store, which was easily less than 3 to 4 minutes. It was just maybe like a 2 to 3 little streets away. So we weren't able to go to the flagship one on Champs-Elysees, because remember, the Champs-Elysees location is a lot further, but the other Louis Vuitton store was only about 4 minutes away. So at that Louis Vuitton location there was a little line. So there's an appointment line and then there's a no appointment line. Ironically, the no appointment line had nobody in line. So they kind of do the same thing as Chanel, as right when you walk into Louis Vuitton, there's a guy that asks you what you're looking for. So I was looking for the Nano Noé, and then my aunt was looking for the On The Go tote, and it said that there was one Nano Noé in stock, and then they had all the On The Go's that my aunt was looking for. However, you're not allowed to leave. I mean, I don't think so. He didn't say that we could leave. He told us, okay, and as essay will be with you in about 20 to 25 minutes. We ended up waiting, I think, 35 minutes. They have like a small little waiting area. You could walk around, but this boutique is really small. I believe they have another floor, but I didn't go up the elevator or the stairs. I just stayed on the first floor, which I am assuming is women's. I don't know if the entire building is women's, for women. So we were just waiting there. They don't offer you anything to drink or anything while you're waiting. I'm sure if you ask them, they would give it to you, but we're just sitting there and we just see like a bunch of essays offering other people champagne or coffee or drinks, and we're just sitting there. And that was my first time at this location as well. So we're waiting a little bit, and they kind of keep you posted. They'll tell you like, oh, there's 2 more people in front of you, oh, you're next in line, so you can kind of gauge it. I think the beauty of them asking you what you're looking for right from the get-go, because Chanel didn't do this, is because they want to make sure you're not wasting your time to see, okay, what are you looking for? If they don't have it in stock, you don't have to wait 30 minutes to find out that the bag that you're looking for is not there, which I really actually like. However, unfortunately, when it was finally our turn, the essay comes up to me and says that the Nano No Way wasn't in stock, that the inventory that was shown was scanned the day before. So within that 24-hour period, it was sold. So I waited for no reason, but my aunt was able to get the bag that she wanted, so that was really good for her. And the beauty of this location is that it's right across from the Goyard store, literally right across the street. Unfortunately, the Goyard store had maybe like 10 to 15 people in line outside, so they have an exterior line, so I wasn't able to go to the Goyard store just because we had to go to a couple other boutiques as well, so I made that sacrifice. But if any of you guys were wondering, the Goyard boutique is right across the street from Louis Vuitton. However, if you go to the Louis Vuitton store in the Lafayette Gallery, or the Galerie Lafayette, or the Louis Vuitton Champs-Elysees location, there is no Goyard store within the distance of those ones. So if you're trying to hit a lot of stores quick, I definitely recommend this, like the Rue Honoré area. For those of you who are wondering, the moment that the essay helps you and it's your turn, that's when they ask you if you want anything to drink, if you want coffee or orange juice or anything you want. You could ask for champagne, I'm sure, but I didn't want to drink. But the coffee that they gave me was by far one of the best coffees I've ever had in my whole life. It's strange. I guess the coffee beans are just way better in Europe. Who knows? Also, you do need to bring your passport into the stores for the VAT refund, so make sure you don't leave it in your hotel room or leave it on the cruise. If you guys are taking a cruise as well, make sure you have your passport with you, and make sure your credit card is working as well. You don't want to get any like fraudulent activity notifications, because that happened to my aunt, so that was unfortunate. But they took forever to wrap up and finish paying out my aunt. So while they were finishing wrapping up my aunt's purchase, I was like, okay guys, I'm gonna go to the Dior store and wait in line, because we passed Dior to get into Chanel and there was about maybe like 10 people on the corner. So the Dior is right on the corner, and I just thought, okay, I'm gonna go wait in line for us to just kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And luckily, when I went to the Dior store, the line completely disappeared. There was only one girl in front of me, and then less than 10 minutes the girl leaves, and then I straight up just go inside. I asked if they had the micro DJoy in the 2 colors that I wanted, which is the latte color or the cloud blue. How unfortunate. And the ethereal green. Okay, I saw the ethereal green online and I loved it to absolute pieces. And of course, the essay told me that they didn't have cloud blue, latte, or ethereal green, but they had everything else. So they had all like those bright neon colors, they had it in black, they had it in blush. So I wasn't interested in that, but my aunt was gonna buy my cousin the Lady Dior bag, so I asked the lady to get that ready for me, because I texted my aunt and told her that I was already inside the store, that she could just come in and she doesn't have to wait in line. So that was really nice. Right when you walk in and you get your essay, they ask you the same question, if you want anything to drink or stuff like that. And oh my gosh, when they gave me a coffee at Dior, it came with a little truffle and a little macaroon, and it was so good. It was so good. But in the middle of me looking at stuff at Dior, Chanel texted us. After my aunt came into the Dior store to look at the bag that she was gonna buy for my cousin, I went straight to Chanel, because I don't know if there's like a grace period, like a restaurant reservation where you have 15 minutes to get here or you get booted. And then I went into Chanel, checked in, and I literally didn't plan on buying or getting a bag at all. You guys know Chanel prices are so expensive. Like, it's it physically hurts me how expensive it is. I just wanted to see their card holders, you know, like that flap. If you guys have been an OG subscriber, you guys know I've been wanting this stupid card holder with the flap for the longest time, and every single time I go to a Chanel boutique or text the Chanel SA, they always say it's sold out, it's sold out, it's sold out, because more likely than not their VIP customers always buy those card holders to match the bag that they're getting. That's neither here nor there. So of course I asked to look at card holders while I wait for my aunt to come by, and then just to see, I asked her, I was like, hey, do you have this small Chanel 22 bag in white? And she says that they only have it in the medium sizes or the larger sizes or the backpacks. And I was like, no, I really like the Chanel 22 with the small size. And she went back and forth into the room and she found it. After maybe like 30 minutes of me being there, she actually found it. She came out with it and was like, you will not believe what I just found, especially in white. It's really hard to come by. So I was just so excited. I tried it on and I instantly fell in love. Oh, and mind you, all the essays that I had in Europe were so nice. So the Louis Vuitton one in the beginning, it was questionable how nice he was, but then he got really nice. For the Louis Vuitton guy, what made me realize that he was just a really nice SA was because the moment he told me that the Nano Noe wasn't in stock, he's like, I can show you other mini bags, stuff like that. And I was like, no, it's okay. And he actually felt bad, like, oh, I'm so sorry that they told you we had it in stock. And he was like explaining it to me, super friendly. The people at Dior were so nice. You can also tell how either nice or just how good customer service someone is the eye contact, because a lot of snobby essays or condescending essays, they don't like to make eye contact with you. They just say like, what do you want? And then they look down at their phone or they're just looking down. Eye contact is very important to me, and at Dior, like, all of them just eye contact, super friendly, very patient, all that stuff. And then the people at Chanel, I was really nervous because I feel like Chanel gets the worst rep in terms of sales associates. They're just horrible. They're like a hit or miss. They're either great or they're just so awful. And at the Rue Cambon store, at least the essay that I got was so nice. Like, she was so wonderful. Everything I wanted to look at, she was like, sure, and then after we finished wrapping everything up, she even took us to the side and she was like explaining to us that this was Coco Chanel's atelier, and then she was showing us the staircase and she was like, oh, I'll take a picture of you guys and all that stuff. Like, she was so great. There were a couple rude customers that came in because while we were trying on bags, this group of women walked in and was like, I don't want to wait an hour, because how the Rue Cambon store works, it's kind of broken up into parts. So right when you enter the walkway, there should be someone that greets you with an iPad and asks like if you have an appointment, if you don't have an appointment. So the way that it works is the entrance, and there's some bags by the entrance, and then there's kind of a little waiting area with shoes. So visually, the way it's set up is that right when you walk in, it's kind of an empty hallway, and then there's a couple bags on a couple shelves, and then you see they have beauty and makeup there. You turn the corner and then there's kind of a sitting area, like a waiting area with shoes, and then after that it's kind of the main portion of Chanel, I guess you would say, where it has the majority of all the bags. That's where everybody is. And there was a group of women that walked in and they were like, I don't want to say harassing, they weren't harassing, it wasn't that serious, but they were going up to essays going, I want to see this bag, I want to see this bag. And then somebody had to come in, a worker, to be like, oh, I'm sorry, do you have an appointment? And they're like, we don't have an appointment. And she was like, okay, sorry, I have to add you to the wait list. The wait's gonna be an hour. And she straight up goes, I don't want to wait an hour, I want to look at something now. And then everybody is just staring at them like, oh, this is so uncomfortable, this is so awkward. So to avoid any embarrassment, if you've never been to the Rue Cambon store, right when you walk in, just look for somebody. There should be someone to greet you, but if there's no one to greet you, look for a worker and ask to be helped, because you can't just walk in and browse, I don't think, because when we walked in there was somebody that immediately stopped us. So, and then you can take pictures like where the staircase is and the mirror and stuff like that. It was really nice. And then after the Chanel store, I really wanted to go into Celine, but we had absolutely no time. The only time that we had left, we had to like sprint back to where the bus dropped us off, so that was really unfortunate. And then after you finish deciding on all the goodies that you wanted at Chanel, the essay that was helping you isn't the one that pays you out. You have to go into this other room where somebody else closes you out. Essentially, you give them your passport and then they give you the envelope, and then they give you the form. So now we're going to talk about the VAT refund. So how the VAT refund works, I haven't received my refund yet, but just if you didn't know this, okay, because this was my first time ever doing this. So you get dropped off at Terminal 3, that's where the VAT refund is. I feel like most taxi drivers know that that's where the VAT refund is. When you walk in, you'll kind of see this blue, and I think it's called global something. So you have to look at the envelope that you received from the VAT refund. I'm gonna see if I have a picture of it. If not, I'm gonna look for a picture online. And each envelope has a different company. So there's 3 different companies. There's like something, tax, planet, and then global. We'll just call it global blue, but I'll put the exact ones here just so you have a reference. If your envelope says the global, then go to the one in the blue line, because when we asked our taxi driver which one was the VAT refund line, because none of us have done it before, he was like, oh, it's the one with blue, you can't miss it. So we're waiting in line for 20 minutes at this line, and then when we finally get up to the counter, the lady's like, oh, this is the wrong line, just turn the corner and it's that one. So literally right next to the blue, there's another separate line that also says tax refund. And because on your form you need to get a stamp on the form, and then you can close up the envelope and then put it into the mailbox. So what I mean is, after we waited in the incorrect line, the correct line is literally right next to it. I think there's maybe like 3 windows, and what's really important is that you need to bring the items that you brought, because some of the people at the window check to see if you have it. There's literally even a sign that says no goods, no stamps. If you don't have the stamp, you can't get the VAT refund. So you need to have them in your possession. So I basically just had my Chanel bag with the tissue, and then my little wallet in my carry-on luggage, and then my aunt kept the things that she bought in her carry-on duffel bag as well. And then the guy literally just gave us a stamp and that was it. But the people that were in front of us, the window that they got, they asked to see the things, because if you don't bring the items there, they're gonna assume that you potentially bought it for somebody that also lives in Europe, and you're supposed to leave with it. On top of that too, in the rules it says that they have to be unused. So let's say like you bought a classic flap and you want to get the VAT refund on it. I don't think that you can wear that classic flap and be like, oh, this is what I bought, can I get the stamp? I think it has to be unused, is what I read on the paper. Right when you get out of the line, there's like 3 little silver mailbox containers. They each have a different company on it, so just triple check that what the envelope company says on your VAT refund form is the same as the one that you're putting it in. So mine was Planet. So literally after we get the stamp, we just fold it in, and then you just lick the envelope, close it, and then that's it. It doesn't need a stamp or anything like that. And then it says that you get the refund within, I think, a month or so. I'm not 100% sure. They give you the option of either getting it in cash or getting it back on your credit card balance. I picked credit card because you get your VAT refund in full, whereas if you pick cash, I believe you could only get 10% of it back. Another thing to note, which was very interesting, is that Chanel gives you a 13% VAT refund. I thought you only get 10% off, and the Chanel's associate was like, oh no, you actually get 13%. But weirdly enough, at Louis Vuitton, you only get 12% back. Me and my family were talking about this, and we wonder if it's because Chanel is so much more expensive that's why they get 1% more. So that was my entire experience with shopping. I hope that story wasn't back and forth and you kind of got the visuals for it. But some takeaway notes is, if you plan on going to the Rue Cambon store, I definitely recommend going right away and then just putting your name on that list, because I didn't have an appointment and I was really scared. But if you go to that area instead of Champs-Elysees, there are so many boutiques within walking distance. So if time is an issue, if you have to hit shops or the museums in the same day, I definitely recommend going to that little corner. Everything that you want is within arm's length. It's so convenient. I remember when I went back on the cruise, I was talking to this other lady, and she told me that she didn't see a Goyard store at all, that when she asked the taxi driver to take her to a Louis Vuitton location, the taxi driver recommended her the Galeries Lafayette, and she was so upset because the Galeries Lafayette is a very popular mall in Paris, if you guys didn't know. And she told me that she had to wait 45 minutes in a physical line, that they did ask her what she was looking for, but the line was so long at the Galeries Lafayette. And then the Louis Vuitton store that I went to had no line at all. Like, we had to wait 25 minutes, but I didn't have to physically wait in line to talk to somebody, which is super awesome. And then the Dior store, same. I feel like the timing was just so perfect because when we passed by the Dior store to go to the Chanel boutique, there was a line, and then within that hour the line disappeared. So it really just depends how lucky you are. We went to Paris on a weekday. I believe it was a Thursday or a Friday, so that's why I was kind of nervous if it was going to be really busy, but it wasn't. So that was really awesome. I just really wish I went to the Goyard and Celine store, especially the Goyard store. That was the original Goyard location. Like, I'm so sad. When I looked up the Goyard locations on Google Maps, there were 2 locations, but the original one was the one right across the street from Louis Vuitton, and I'm just my biggest regrets. I'm so sad. But yes, if you guys have any additional questions about the whole shopping experience, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your guys' VAT refund experiences are. That was my first time. How quickly do you guys get your VAT refunds? Did you guys know about the 12%, 13% difference? I thought that was very interesting. But yes, I didn't realize how expensive tax was in Europe. They have a 20% VAT. That's so crazy. So for example, just the price breakdown. So if you guys didn't know, in Europe, the price that you see already includes the VAT within it. So let me calculate it for you guys as an example. So the bag that I have with VAT is 5,500 euro. So we're gonna get 13% off of 5,500. The bag is technically only gonna cost, not only, this is so expensive, it's gonna cost us 4,785 euro. So converting that, 4,785 euro is now, the bag is gonna cost us $5,234.07. If you bought the exact same bag in America, so it's 5,500 USD. Say in America, with tax, this bag is $6,000. So with the VAT refund, I'm technically saving around $800, which is a very big chunk. So that's kind of how you can gauge it. What's really convenient is that the form that they give you, it shows you kind of the breakdown of the discount that you're getting and the price that you're technically paying for the bag, which is really convenient. All you have to remember to do is to bring your items with you to the airport unused and get a stamp, and then seal the envelope, put it in the right container, and then that's it, and then you're done. Alrighty guys, so this is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was somewhat helpful for anyone that's planning on going to Europe this summer. I feel like 2023 is the year that everyone is traveling. Like, this is just the traveling season. Let me know down in the comments some tips that maybe other people would find helpful if you guys are tried and true Paris shoppers that go every single year or something like that. I would love to know for future reference on a time that maybe next time I could actually stay overnight in Paris. That would be really nice instead of only having 3.5 hours to do everything. But a lot of people that I was talking to on the cruise were very impressed that we were able to hit 4 boutiques in 3.5 hours. But as always, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps for my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!